It was a different kind of Passover, to say the least. I remember right when we sat down, Philip leaned to me and he said, "Hey Thomas, I feel like there's going to be something special happening tonight." I looked at him and I said, "I doubt it." I was wrong. Jesus got up from the table and he went to get a basin of water and a towel. And I remember thinking to myself, what's he doing with that? I mean, he's not going to wash anyone's feet. I doubt he's going to do that. I was wrong. He knelt down and he began to wash Bartholomew's feet, and Bart just sat there and he didn't say anything, he didn't move. None of us did. Jesus finished and he went on to James and Andrew and the rest of us. And I remember thinking to myself, no one's going to break the silence. I mean, I doubt anyone's going to say anything. And you know who broke the silence? Peter.
No way you're washing our feet. I mean, at least that's what I told him. You can wash other people's feet, but you're not going to wash mine. He didn't look back at me and said, then you should have nothing to do with me. Then I was just like, ouch, okay. You can wash my hands, you can wash my feet, you can wash my whole body if you want to. He then looked back at me again and said, no, Peter, your feet will do just fine. In the midst of him washing our feet, he taught us servanthood.
Then Jesus took some bread and some wine. He served it to all of us. He said, this is my new covenant with his blood. Then he said, tonight all of you will lose faith in me. I remember sitting there thinking, lose faith in you? Never. But then I just sat there and I didn't say anything.
I couldn't just sit there. I had to do something. Next thing I know, I looked over at Jesus and said, Jesus, I love you, man. You can count on me. Everyone else may slip away, but I won't. You can count on me. Jesus then smiled. He said, Peter, you're going to deny me 3 times before next morning. Ouch. Next thing I know, we're wrapping things up and head to the garden to pray.
Once we got to the garden, it just got crazy. Jesus asked Peter, James, and myself to go further into the garden to pray, and we did. We tried. We kept on falling asleep, and Jesus kept on waking us up. I remember one time he said, the spirit is willing, but the flesh is weak. That's true. It's a blur. And to think, this whole mess got started because of Judas. Did he really think what he was doing was right?
There, he's the one you want, the one that's praying by himself. The others will come to create a scene, but don't worry about them. It's the one that I kiss on the cheek is the one you want. 30 pieces of silver, that's what we agreed upon. Just remember, the one that I kiss on the cheek is the one that you want.
A kiss? Judas betrays Jesus with a kiss of a friend? That's when it all happened. Peter picks up a sword and he cuts this guy's ear off. But Jesus picks it back up and puts it back on this guy's head like nothing ever happened. That's when they took him. I would love to tell you that we fought for him, but we didn't. Everyone just ran. I ran. I am so ashamed of myself.
What have I done? What have I done? Was I so stupid to think? I crucified him. I crucified Jesus.
I crucified Jesus. That's what the crowd wanted, and that's what they got. Personally, I don't think that man did anything to deserve that. But I was just a soldier, doing my job. When the governor said the word, I went to work. I loved my job. I felt like I was administrating justice every time I nailed someone to that tree. But this man, he didn't deserve to die. It just doesn't make
makes no sense. There I was, rotting in a jail cell. For stealing, murdering, you name it, I'd done it. I knew the next time I set foot outside my jail cell, well, that was it. The guards came and they put me beside this guy, beaten to a pulp. Then Governor Pilate started asking the crowd, which one of these men shall I set free? I mean, I knew it was obvious the crowd was going to say, let Jesus go. And then I could tell them where they can go. Then the crowd started chanting, Barabbas. I mean, they were saying my name, over and over and over again. The guards threw me into the crowd and took Jesus to Golgotha. 1 minute, I was a man marked for death. The next, I'm free. Made no sense, so I followed him all the way to Golgotha.
He looked at us. He looked at me. And he said, Father, forgive them, for they don't know what they're doing. And he forgave me.
Forgive them. He said, forgive them. Who is he forgive? Should have been me. Up there. I was the one supposed to be hanging up on that cross. He took my place. I looked up and remembered he took a deep, agonizing breath, and he said, "It is finished." And then he died.